Brought to you by Penguin.
A Book of Secrets, written and read by me, Derren Brown. For Dad. Some quotes to begin. From Rainer Maria Rilke, The Book of Hours. Let everything happen to you, beauty and terror. Just keep going. No feeling is final. From Richard Linklater's Before Sunrise. I believe if there's any kind of God, it wouldn't be in any of us, not you or me, but just this little space in between. If there's any kind of magic in this world, it must be in the attempt of understanding someone sharing something. I know it's almost impossible to succeed, but who cares, really? The answer must be in the attempt. From Leonard Cohen, Beautiful Losers. How can I begin anything new with all of yesterday inside me? Chapter 1. Knowing Everything. I was punched repeatedly in the head by Andy Hunt and James Ward when I was 15. They beat me up during a Duke of Edinburgh's award trip to the Brecon Hills, while I cowered in my Daffy Duck sleeping bag trying to protect my face. I spent the next 3 decades despising them both, and then recently I heard that the adult Andy had suffered a brain hemorrhage, and after a lengthy ensuing depression had tried to kill himself by cycling into an oncoming truck. Andy had somehow failed in the attempt, and instead only caused further damage to his brain. When I was told this story, 33 years of loathing dissolved instantaneously in my blood. Here was a bully, now bullied by fate, and a lingering childhood narrative had proved to be desperately and naively out of touch with merciless reality. Between the ages of 15 and 48, the name Andy Hunt had functioned for me as private rhyming slang. He and his cohort had sniffed out the jasmine-tinged redolence of the nascent poofter, and such was my capacity for shame in those days, I didn't entirely blame them for taking a swipe. But I had no doubt that they were nasty, and nothing since had served to assuage my conviction. However, fortune had so greatly overstepped the mark in redressing the balance that the hatred I'd been carrying with me felt grossly inordinate. Aren't our worst moments generally characterized by behaviours that spring from a certainty in our judgments that turns out to be naive? The violent disgust and superiority felt by a powerful kid towards an effete one, and the weaker boy's ensuing 33-year hatred of his tormentor, were both made monstrous by personal narratives that scorned any mitigating facts or nuance, such as how events might have later developed when we weren't looking. Conviction is all, and we suffer from an abundance of it when we need to feel strong, not note when we actually feel strong. Those times are usually typified by a generosity of the soul, but when we must gather ourselves in the face of something mighty, or against whatever scares or repels us, we eagerly cling to whatever available fiction is most fortifying. I have, for as long as I remember, been shy to voice such certainty of judgment in company. Unless I'm with someone I fancy, or am quickened by a second old-fashioned, I'm commonly paralysed by an awareness that I only know my small share of the story. Perhaps for this reason I've never beaten anyone up, but neither has it made me noble or humble. It's allied to the difficulties I sometimes experience when I find myself among others, especially those headstrong types who make no effort to meet one halfway. I note with disappointment my over-eagerness to please and a somewhat diffident, avoidant personality, part considered stoic, and part mere spineless dodger of conflict. I'm skilled at circumnavigating stress, but company often reduces me to something deferential and courteous and boring. So I see the traps in what follows through the next couple of chapters, which is my attempt to advocate a greater appreciation of nuance and ambiguity. Perhaps, as a popular teenage punchee, it is no more than a defence of a particular weakness to which I'm constitutionally disposed, but perhaps...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?